By the way, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm now an iPhone user.
You just had to say that now, didn't you?
Yeah, wait until
I need to focus at home to know how rich I am.
Okay, so finally we rejoin the Sik Bois again. They had recently finally arrived at Sane's Cradle, a town on the northeastern part of the Republic. They investigated a missing child somewhat, and started following some threads of this man they are trying to follow for Day's quest. Eventually this led them to some sort of a secret hideout for these outsiders, this gang or a bunch of criminals which they've discovered are plundering the ancient city below the cradle. After explaining this to the guard, they managed to get a meeting with the Plain Council, a council of plain priests, definitely plain priests, for the which are the priests of Hala, the main religion in the Republic. During this meeting, they didn't really get on, and they had some differences. They didn't like the idea they had to prove themselves again to some more people, and they felt like the priests were being unreasonable, maybe. They then took also the staff, Matka Maya's gift from Jar, perhaps misinterpreting it as an offer, who knows. And then, sort of exasperated, fine, we investigate this dye house. That's when Gray, they previously met a couple of times, the leader of the Daener and Athar, confronted them about their attitude during this meeting and expressed her annoyance. This heated exchange grew in intensity until eventually there was some argument about Val and his faith coming out of nowhere. And also at the very end of it, she let out, perhaps by mistake or just in annoyance, that the priests, the Plain Council, weren't plain priests at all, and they have no care for Hala. Then finally Joel tried to reclaim his property and pissed her off, and then she just thought it's best to just deal with all of you since you know the secret. It's best just to have you all done by it. And then quite quickly the Sik Bois were overmatched by these archers, but the council intervened at the last moment, and bloodied and battered, they dragged them and the Daener Helathar back to the council chambers they had recently been in, now looking a lot different to what they were originally when they were there moments ago. Covered in vines, being dragged along the stairs. You're now in this chamber, not is it pitch black anymore, with those 5 seats with candles. It's now open. You can see black cloth is being pulled away. Light is it's coming through cracks in the ruin of it, and sort of odd artwork is all around. You're brought sort of the council members wearing their strange garbs and like earthenwares are sort of leading this procession. As you come through the main door as well, you notice the 2 guards that were standing in front are just let down, sort of one's face first, one's on his back, one you can hear is loudly snoring. But the door is closed, and you are laid out in a line, mixed in with these archers, and there you are in this council chamber once again.
Does Drell have any
It's not explained at the same thing.
The bait always
So stealthy.
Thank you, Commander Spock.
Does Joel have any leftover symptoms from being in another plane?
You still feel really cold.
Yeah.
And maybe you guys would both notice, especially Val, Drow coming back has his cloak is frozen solid. If it's still sort of pulled up, and there's he's covered in frost, a bit damp in places, and like little icicles in the top of his hair, and yeah, looks like he's been so real cold.
Nice of you to join us again, Joe.
Well, I didn't quite fancy being shot at, and am I tied up?
Yeah.
But I wanted to be tied up. I didn't fancy being shot at, so I fucked off.
It's fine. We're all right now, at least.
Alright, it's relative, I suppose. Bit of blood comes up enough.
Look over at Grey. She and her rangers, they kind of sat next to us.
Yeah, pretty close. You and her have actually been put side by side, and as she's dragged up, she's just you can see a vine is actually over her mouth. She's like, whoop.
Not gagged.
Can I see that?
Yeah. Now, Grillarian, not the time for this. One could argue you've caused all of it. Why this is all happening? God.
Yes, I would say that's about right.
Actually, I know you thought of Vine coming over. Maybe not the only one to cause. You see this little chubby kind of short woman, big leather boots, stuffed with mud, with little flowers growing out of her boots. Her kind of short but really braided hair in lots of plaits is little flowers nestled in all over. Completely different from what this you heard this voice from originally. Looks kind of like a crazy ant neighbour. I don't know. She starts turning off the candles. Turning off. Extinguishing the foliage.
Can we get some of those vines for you as well? Because I'm pretty sure you were also involved in causing what happened.
Oh. Why was that then?
The bullshit that was this facade of a blackout room of the High Priest.
Well, I think that facade is what kept us safe all these years. Actually, you'll find Drell, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Look, we just want the stick back and we'll go.
Oh, the stick! And she turns around, and you can see just chucked on the floor, next to the throne or the seat of the other chap has just fallen on the floor. It's the staff.
Yeah, the stick.
Yeah. No problem. But no one saw you bring it in the town, did they?
No, that I'm aware of.
I don't think so, no.
No one knows it's coming here at all.
I would ask my companion. I looked to Val.
And you see the guy I previously described before, you're more familiar with, Drow, kind of. Well, they have their thing to get to at some moment, both of them. And he kind of flicks his hand, and then a vine. In time.
I'm not sure either.
Okay, then he's... Divine covers your mouth.
I'll be brutally honest, I don't often use it, but I feel like it being gifted to me by who it was, I'd quite like it back. So I'm fairly certain that I didn't have it on my persons when we arrived into town.
Fine. As you're probably aware now, it means nothing to us. Just the fact that if someone else were to knew it came here and we didn't take it, understand what we're trying to look like here and how that wouldn't go down at all.
We can take it off of you without anyone knowing we even have it.
Fine by me.
So you believe us then?
I want to believe, definitely. And she sort of waddles over and then sort of bends down, puts both her hands on her knees, like, picks up the stick.
Is it just like leaning against me now?
Yeah.
You look pretty cute together.
Match made in hell's venom.
More like blood comes out.
Oh yes, he did a number on you. I could probably count them. Yeah, it's okay. And she kind of puts her hand, doesn't touch you, but just puts it like an inch away, and you can see her like concentrating.
I sort of, because I think Val always sort of touches me when I just sort of try and inch slightly closer to the hand.
Just kind of notices it happening, opens one eye. No, just stay there where you are there. Danos. You feel like cold around your ankles. You look down, like little weeds are just growing up and growing around, little vines. You feel this soft warm breeze, although it affects no one else. You feel your wounds don't hurt as much. You are healed. 20 plus 5, 32 points.
Oh baby.
Now, is that better?
That's fantastic. What about Val?
Well, and she looks at Gray. There's a problem here, isn't there? I can't understand him. Look, the reason I say I want to believe you is because I find it hard to believe completely. And she sits down cross-legged in front of you. People like him have come here past couple 100 years.
Elves or in general?
Oh, elves all around. I've got blood in me as well, apparently. Trace my ancestry. But no, we don't know what to call them really. Ones that look like him.
Great Larian over there said something about our friend here editing his appearance to look this way. We were under the impression that Val has always looked as ugly as he is.
He said something about disfigurement. I don't think he is. Is he? Are you? He could have said yes or no. I have no idea.
Yeah, he could have said either. We never know. Well, all we know is what we've been shown by them. 2 have come since I've been here. One, well, she did something similar to what you're doing right now. Sort of trying to make friends, I guess. She tricked us. And then the next one, he didn't have any of that guile. He just came in and started, and she kind of looks at Gray, and you see Gray's like turn away at this point. He just proclaimed that this whole place was wrong. The remnant of the plains crossing over. Well, to cut a long story short, he killed a lot of people that day. Here in the city and of our own.
How long ago was that?
Oh, my memory's a bit foggy. It does do that when you get past this sort of 1st or 2nd century. You see Gray like, and just kind of lets it relax from Gray's mouth. 54 years ago. Well, there we are, 54 years ago. So, you have to understand, what we were doing before.
Sorry.
The way we are talking to you. It's difficult for us.
Well, I'm sure we're all in agreement that if indeed you don't actually have any information on the man that Danos here is looking for, then we've no reason to be here and we'll be on our way. We've got the stick back. Gray obviously doesn't like my other acquaintance. We'll be passing through.
If only it were that simple. We've been the council here for generations. We find it difficult to let this knowledge stay in your hands when, well, especially when you travel with one as such. Our way of life, this whole city is a remnant of what it was before, and we keep that. We maintain that. When the Republic came, it took great effort to mask what we truly were. Do you understand?
I think so.
You're worried that we'll ruin a long-term masquerade.
Yeah.
I assure you, we have no intention of uprooting whatever it is you've created here. And I promise you, Val has never shown any malicious intent towards your people. Or against anyone, really.
But here he is. In your quest, or your goal, whatever it is, to whatever end, we don't know, leads you into the ancient city. all our texts, all what we have left of what the elves left us, is the one key thing. Nothing must be taken from it, and nothing must be able to leave or enter. We're not sure why, what really happened. It's like they were trying to contain something. But we know it was of imperative importance, and so much so that we haven't seen a true blood elf since. We do have some good word of you, though. Of course, we did read your letter. You are with the... well, you have dealings with the Republic.
Not out of loyalty, but necessity.
But you have friends there.
We're loyal to our friends and not to the Republic.
Believe me, I've got my issues with the Republic.
That I can understand, of course. Grey, are you going to behave? And you? What does that mean?
I think it was a no.
Good idea. Sorry, we can't talk to you yet.
It's the irony of recording a session.
I'm so sorry.
Covering
My dream.
I cover his mum. Can't interact with anyone.
I don't know, we got some good grunts recorded.
Can I move, please? No. There is an imbalance here that needs to be resolved before you can go anyway. He looks at you and Grey.
It's all my shoe.
That we will get to, Joel.
Just like looking at the floor like, I haven't got a shoe.
He still has no shoe on. You know, it's the one that he took. You feel relaxed a bit, and you can now talk.
Thank you.
You have listened.
Yes, I
Heard what we have to say. Do you understand why we feel such a way? He'll never understand. He's terrible. Greylarian. We know what this means to you. But please, you know our ways. We need to let them speak. Please. To Valathar, was it?
Yes. I do understand why you would be cautious of others like me, considering the two that you've had experience with before, but like anyone, you can't judge one man for another's actions, surely.
Surely not. And not something I take pride upon, but you can understand two, the only two that we've ever met or know of, have killed people here and betrayed our trust. And we assign the way you look to your faith, which is the same, is it not?
Well, I've always been taught that we're here to protect people of this plane.
So the answer to that question is a yes.
Yes, but whatever twisted version of that these were following is not the true way of the Watcher.
The Watcher.
Yes. That's who we follow, who gives us our strength.
Well, we have never heard of him, or it, or whatever
Yes, I wouldn't expect many to in this realm.
We've only seen what people of his ilk have done.
Yes, it worries me too that people claiming to be of the same faith have murdered the people they were sent to protect. This second person, what did they claim to be doing?
If it's right with you, Gray. No, it's not really. Why are we even entertaining them? We can't trust them. It's... Obviously I respect your wishes, but... We know, Gray. Like I said, he proclaimed that this entire place was blasphemy of planes crossing over. Everything here was an influence on that, and it should be removed.
That's a rather extreme way of going about it. And again, certainly not what we're taught when we're trained to kill innocents. Close gaps in the veil between the planes.
But what if... Well, it sounds awfully strange to me, must be honest.
Yes.
A strange particular to get held up on about, really.
What? The fact that this place wasn't quite right.
No, that the planes are crossing is a bad thing. Completely. It's... There must be some good and bad. Recognising that, there's got to be better.
Well,
but you are charged with enforcing that separation. It does sound strange.
It's incredibly dangerous and selfish act to wantonly bridge the planes and to open gateways between them with no way of knowing what you're trying to pull through or get to is what you're actually going to achieve. Could be opening a portal to one of the seven hells, or you know.
That is one perspective, young Valatar, but we do not need to understand as long as we know what your actions will be.
Well, you mentioned that although we would be breaking the rule of entering the old city, that anything found there would remain and that nothing else would come with us when we left. But those are the same principles.
And I can hold that as a promise.
Yes, you would have my word on that. And the word of my companions should be needed for us to gain entry.
Yes.
It is tricky.
I understand you don't want us to leave here with the knowledge of what this truly is, but we, my friend said, have no reason to destabilize what you've built here. What would we have to gain from such actions? We have our own quest, our own duties to attend to. Spreading word of this would do nothing but destabilize the region more.
Plus, you did just wipe the floor with us, so.
That is true.
If you look at all the evidence, obviously the only reason we had a problem with you was due to you trying to distract us from our initial quest. And you said you've seen us on the way into town, so you would have seen what we did at Turner's Bridge.
Mm.
So, hopefully, all things considered, and the fact we've been here a few days and caught the stray members of this society and put out a fire, paid for the broken window, I think. Also, we were looking for a kid. Now, I don't know if anyone's thought about that for a bit.
Yes, quite right.
But, I don't know. I feel like we've got a pretty good case for us not being those pricks.
Yes, we wouldn't have time in between any of that to do anything nefarious.
We just want to find the guy and possibly a kid. Well, let's worry about the kid.
Could be the same person.
Could be the same person.
Equally worried about the missing child, aren't we?
Yes,
Sure.
we are. Right, we are, but we are worried, Dreo.
Yeah.
He's worried.
That's his worried face.
So Joe's hands are free.
Free this whole time.
That was going so well as well. Make a persuasion check, everybody.
Wait, 3 persuasion checks?
Yeah, everybody. Just want to see, because you're all talking.
19.
Nice, good for Val.
Oh shit! Tucky mushrooms.
Non-natural 20.
23.
Wow, very good, everyone. Well, we are worried about that boy. See the tall man concentrate for a moment, and you feel movement as these thick vines shift around.
Can I insight check how worried they are about the little boy?
Yeah, sure.
He was a menace. We're glad to see him go.
Souring everything.
18.
It's good. There is some concern, but you get a sense they are very. It's like, yes, we're worried about that, but they're very distracted about what's going on right now, and it seems like they're more concerned about you guys, and the idea of people going into the ruin is that it's more important to them than a missing child.
Drell like realizes this, but don't really say anything.
So are we completely free now of the vines?
Yeah.
Drell goes to another plane.
I guess I'll stand up. So brush myself off. Wipe the blood away from her mouth.
You see Grey is like just visibly annoyed, and she kind of walks just to the side and brushes past you, Val, and then her rangers kind of huddle around, and you see they're like attending one of them. It's like you can see like massive burn marks like going over like half his body.
Which one of us was that? Is that you?
Yeah.
It's burned.
I hellish rebuked.
Drell wasn't there, and he knows.
If the guy looks over, I will shoot him a wink, but if not, then don't worry.
They're just looking at.
Okay.
They seem very like organised and disciplined. They're just looking at Grey right now.
Oh, okay.
John.
I prepared an action of wink.
And Ori's ready a wink action.
How Drell's green cheeks go red.
Ooh. What you've said and what you've spoken is true. I believe you are generally good.
Even me.
Why would you ask?
I don't like the hesitation.
I need to know.
That yet is to be seen. But I sense some wisdom behind those black eyes. You understand that actions are truly what brings about more faith. Now that we are in our more obvious standing, that letter, the one you showed us, are you confident what they speak of is true?
Yes.
Why would you do that?
What was
That's the letter about the ritual and the summon.
Oh, yeah.
The letter from the flower lady.
I thought
Yes.
it was the Alid letter. I was very confused.
Same.
Yes, I think he does like us and miss us very much. Yes, I'm very sure.
Oh right, yeah, you confused me there. I hope your answer would have been no. This is extremely concerning to us.
Well, that's why we're here.
And what you spoke of, wild gods, what you mentioned.
Clearly your concern will be a bit less now. We know that you're nothing to do with the faith of Howler, but clearly someone is trying to do something big,
Yes.
and we seek to stop it. Or at least find the person that intends to unleash it and stop them.
Killing and replacing a god is no small feat. Can't be good for the world.
And if you say that there is something in that old city that was to be untouched, could it be something powerful enough to perhaps kill a god, or replace one, summon a new one?
Do you have suspicions that people mentioned in this letter, the following, whoever they are interested in the old city?
Possibility is certainly there. And it concerns us greatly. The wild gods are known to us. All four of them. Our ancestors did war against their influence. Even before Harla's dominion.
Your ancestors, the elves.
It is hard to talk about, but you see, everything we know here is what is passed down through word and mouth, and only what is left in the city that, as it stands now, generations before us couldn't get or find the knowledge of what really happened here. And we have only been trying our best with the knowledge that we have, if that makes sense.
Yes, and what's the highlights, the key points of the knowledge that you have now? What have you been following? What are your assumptions?
Well, there were people here before Harla. I'm not sure what you'd call them, a people, I guess. And we know that they did some dealings or had some connection to the cradle, or the city, what it once was before. Them with elves worked together to fight the people of the wild gods, a cult of them. It was another people more western bound of the Pentar.
And these were followers of the old gods, the Westerners.
Aye.
Right.
And these nations that we came from were not. For reasons we do not understand, unfortunately, but all we know is that they are bad. Their ways are destructive. Blood sacrifice. They're not respecting the balance of the natural world.
Yes, well, blood sacrifice on his own. Pretty bad.
Yeah. We do keep an eye when we can on those lands. We always knew that after Harla came, it wouldn't weed them all out. Funny you say that. Recently I went on a pilgrimage of sorts, about a few months ago, to the western land.
Never been there.
It was a difficult journey back.
Must be a big man to travel that far.
Something amusing. Sure.
You don't have it, do you?
I know where it might be. Kind of west.
What are you talking about?
May or may not have stolen this shoe.
It's obvious he's got no shoe. Okay. Did the one that would match that set?
I could say he could have lost him.
I can confirm the answer is yes.
Why haven't you just put on another shoe, might I ask?
Some would.
Are you telling me you've been on a pilgrimage one barefoot this whole time?
The entire time I've known you,
Yes.
he's not worn a shoe.
Right.
That is correct.
So your one good boot you were wearing when we met.
It was a snug fit, but it got there.
And how long ago did you discard that?
A couple of weeks before I met you.
Oh.
I think you threw it away when you were travelling to Sipney by foot.
In Treehouse.
Yeah, that's what I thought,
And you
yeah.
just just threw it away.
Sorry, I thought you asked when I stole it.
Oh, right. No. When did you discard it?
Oh, right. I thought you meant from him.
Right, no. There's a roundabout way of getting there, but yeah, sure. I see your logic.
Do you remember the treehouse outside Sippeney with the difficult climb.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And we found out you could use feather fall.
Got some new shoes and
Wow.
left it there.
You know, shoes are available
There's a lot of shoes.
everywhere,
It wasn't
really.
even- these are nicer.
Yes.
I found these. I didn't still.
Yes.
You know, I looked for you.
Didn't realize you did that.
Followed you for weeks.
And how did you know it was him who stole the shoe?
Yes, how do you know each other?
I'm quite a big guy. Stand out.
I'm assuming you didn't take it off him while he was
He wasn't
awake.
awake.
Right.
But
Yes.
have you ever tried removing a shoe off of someone while sleeping?
No, I can't say I have.
No, not easy. Not an easy task.
What made you think you could do that? Why?
Mead.
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 Like a bet?
No, just mead.
There was mead in the boot.
I was drunk.
Right. Ah, I should have got there.
There's a roundabout way.
I was there.
logic.
Was there mead in the boot? Right. But
The only advantage I had was when he woke up, he was A, confused, and 3, was quite. It was quite thorny about.
okay.
Couldn't run so easy with one shoe on.
Right. And yet somehow you miraculously
He made it.
have made it this entire way.
It is an experience I'm not going to explain now.
Did you hop?
Yeah. Yes.
Does his foot look like fucked up then, or how is he doing?
Really dirty.
Okay.
There's like cracks in his feet and stuff. It's
A hobbit's feet.
yeah. I mean, they're not. Then I mean, it looks like someone's been walking around, but not like terrible wounds.
Okay.
Maybe he's healed himself, or you don't know.
Was it for reference? Visibly, what race is he?
He looks human.
Okay.
So does the woman.
Who's just the tall human
Yeah, really tall.
Is he taller than Drell?
I think so. Yeah.
with big feet?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
but like a little bit, just taller than Joel.
Okay.
But yeah.
So how did you come to know each other?
I liked his. He was asleep.
That was the first time you met.
Yeah, I liked his shoe.
Right.
He took my shoe.
I
Yeah.
see.
That's the extent of our
Okay.
relationship.
Right.
What is he now? Like,
It's like, yeah.
Sarky.
You know Drell.
Yes, there are shoes. Lots of shoes in the world. But mine was taken.
Right.
I looked for you, like I said, for weeks. weeks. Not knowing what you looked like. Only trusting the breeze.
From his smell, I assume.
No.
Didn't work very well, did it? Anything.
I could have found you. I could. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But then I realized this imbalance, as all things are in nature, eventually leveled out. I knew you would come here, or that I would finally find you eventually. And now you are here.
Hooray! It's been good to see you.
I think you owe him a boot trail.
I couldn't agree more.
Do you want one of these? I've been wearing them for a bit. Got attacked by a wolfy boy in it.
I see the stitching. Well, I could. Well, hang on.
Get off topic. Yeah.
We have a little bit. Look, Doomthin, let's.
What's his name?
No, it was not that.
Doomfin.
Doomfist.
What you call?
Memphis. Sorry.
Tennessee.
Memphis. Sorry, you got you mixed up. Perhaps we could use that leveling in some other way. Excuse me. As I was saying, these gods, there are 4. One is named, and you see like her lip like quivering. The woman of the woods. And as she says that, there's like a... You all get shivers up your spine.
Oh, I did.
Oh.
The other is known as the ever-changing face. The third is the Wolf King. And the last, I dare not say his name.
What way?
The more we talk of them, the more invoke their once presence. And she's like looking like distantly, as if there's something around, like he's not good.
Do you have any books on them? Any readings that we may know his name via?
I wouldn't. And you see the taller man kind of like just hit his staff on the floor. There's like an echo. He's known as the friend or the dead.
Two very different things.
The friend or the dead?
Yeah.
Okay. Not the friend of the dead.
No.
Or?
And as he says it, like the door suddenly just opens. And there's like this intense gust of cold wind. And he looks and he slams the staff down again and the door like just shuts.
Does that happen every time?
We are not going to find out. We are not.
Real.
Really want to find out.
Later.
Cool.
And this person that you seek, they are involved in this. Is that right?
Supposedly, yes.
Assume so, yes.
Sadly, I don't think we have a name.
Could be the, wasn't he all flowery? What was that?
Most distinct thing about him was his eyes. He had yellow eyes.
We would have known someone like that, if they came through.
Even if they were disguising themselves.
Well then no, that's a good point.
This place is full of people wearing goggles as well.
Well, that's,
Misty, quite a lot as well.
You don't think he could have been the ever-changing face? Looks to the door.
explain why we couldn't defeat him. He's quite strong.
Yes.
If he's a
Beyond
god.
ours.
Though he did come from a dancing troupe, or at least his sister did.
Or maybe his face did.
Perhaps.
Let's not rule it out, but I think he's just a follower.
At least I hope so.
This woman of the woods, what does she supposedly supposed to look like?
The WW.
About what?
The first one.
The you.
We understand she represented fertility, protection of the home, and protection from disease and illness.
I believe I may have seen or a visage of her before now.
Where?
Same very place you left your shoe.
West.
Yes,
Oh.
that night.
Oh.
Yes.
You said she was pregnant, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
In the baronies, then. North of Sipney.
Yes.
Yes, just north of
Just outside.
Do you have any other news from that area? Anything else you've seen?
There was an attack on one of the forts there, more north.
By...
Grey Wind.
I
Unknown.
don't know it. No.
Adversaries.
We encountered. There was a corpse with people inside, and we heard voices. Drail, I believe. Possibly me and Val. On our way south to Sipney, we came across a few things like that.
Yes.
There was voices, but we killed the beast.
The wolf.
Yeah, wolf.
Yes, it was quite long. Oh my god, the Wolf King!
There was a wolf, yes.
Wait. Let me... This is... We knew they hadn't been riddled out. We knew it. And while the Republic, although it's not the greatest, while they are distracted at least, well, the one thing we are united in is that the Wild Gods should not be worshipped at all. And now that is distracted by Cheta.
This second one. What is characteristic of them? What characteristics they have? What do they represent? What do they look like?
It is supposedly the promise of the seasons. The promise of the short winters and the long summers, good harvests, bountiful food, and the cycle of night and day. I believe their idol for that is a face split in four, carved to represent each season.
We definitely saw something like that on our way south. In a tree, I think. I could be wrong.
Did Priato have? He had his face painted a certain way. Was it full? I think.
Never four, I don't think. Yeah.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, but I feel like carved into a tree, I swear there was like a four-face thing. Obviously, my notes don't go back that far.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yes!
Make intelligence check just to see how
Okay.
much exactly you remember.
Oh god, please.
Mom, baby.
fuck's sake.
I do remember that.
Oh, do you make intelligence? Please.
There was like braided.
Oh,
I too.
In a minute, Grace would be like, yes.
I could swear there was like like vines. There was like vines, right?
Do you want me to? Okay.
Please.
Please. 12.
the cut-off point was 11.
I'm basically there though, right?
This is what I'm saying. I just want to know. I want to know what the Sik Bois would kind of remember. You know.
Okay.
No.
Nothing.
They're Now I can't remember exactly if this is what was there, but there was a long time ago when you'd only just met. There was you saw some jobs on at Graven Fort. One of them was a bandit camp, and as you were sneaking up this bandit camp, you saw somebody. Saw an old crone-like woman.
Oh shit! Yeah. She disappeared into a tree.
She had like all 4 seasons on her, didn't she?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
See, I remember that, but I didn't remember faces in the tree. I remember the woman who turned into a tree.
Oh yeah. We were trying to find the portal for
Yeah,
ages.
I think
where
on
she
that
could have
tree
gone.
there was.
Right, maybe I'm just.
Or maybe
I might be
I'm-
blending 2 different
maybe I'm
memories
not-
together.
Didn't she carve something into something and then
She
disappear?
carved a
Or on the
map.
floor, maybe?
A map.
I think
Yeah.
Edmund heard like the whole conversation and he left and was like, "Tell me everything you heard."
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were there for like a day.
Yeah.
Walking around this tree trying to find shit. There's
we
nothing there.
Ran into it. Yeah.
Yes, it's all coming back to us. Well done.
It
And-
genuinely is.
And you may have. One of you may have found it on an amulet once or twice.
Okay.
Yes, I remember that. The amulets. From.
From Sipney. It was you.
Yeah, I believe you.
Oh, you do remember.
No.
Oh, right, okay.
And you kept it. Is it still in your inventory?
Do I ever add anything to my
But that's the
inventory?
point. Yeah, did you add it to your inventory? Oh god.
It would be in my bag, right? Little amulet.
I think about a year ago I added it for you.
Imagine if she's like.
Other possessions. Check the note, like the notes you can add.
They asked if we've seen any other. And we
Yeah, because I checked my backpack and it was like nothing in here.
She's like, yeah,
you
all these
sure?
wild gods, like, and we're just like, cool. That's great.
So no notes.
Is it? Can you add like an other possessions? I can't remember because I did it like.
There
Here
were
we go.
I've definitely added other possessions before on mine.
Possessions.
Can you go on your this one?
Like
Just
in your
scroll all the
backpack.
way to the bottom to get to that. Is that what you got at the bottom there?
A wooden amulet tied with string with a peculiar carved design.
Yeah.
Yes! A
Biz.
metal amulet? Is that relevant?
No, I think you took that from fuck me, my memory. An acolyte from Volcar.
Volcar, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where did we?
I didn't know whether Volcar was public knowledge or not. So that's why. I
More of a
said-
northern day. Yeah.
Who's Volcar?
God of imprisonment and thunder.
Oh, what?
The friend?
What's happening?
There were
Okay, yes, I have a wooden thing.
yeah, okay. Okay. So I imagine you recount these things to the council, or do you not? Please let me know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you brought up the first one. We might, probably like workshopping. Like, oh yes, and we saw the amulet. We still got the amulet.
Yeah, we'd probably be just chatting amongst ourselves and like as opposed to like
familiar. Yes.
delving out information and doing a presentation.
Yeah. So
That's
We travelled south.
Yeah. So as you guys are having this like discussion, you notice she kind of like is stood up at this point, as you guys probably was stood up, and she's like backing up, like, and like sits down on a chair.
More than you were expecting.
Yeah. How come you all found this?
I found a shoe in a forest once like this. You know.
Found is an interesting word,
Just stumbled across it.
as I stumbled every footstep afterwards.
That life was canon.
Bernie, this is not. This was meant to happen. Yeah.
Don't Birdie.
I was thinking it, man. I was thinking it.
Joe, dare I say it, but I think you always meant to steal that shoe.
Well, balance. I'm a good guy, see? I'm just looking at Memphis and Deedee grin.
This is a strange event. So if this man that you're looking for is involved with this?
Yes. But I mean, if we have encountered vestiges or the actual personifications of these gods previously, then I suppose there is a chance that it could be the final one. But again, I think he would just be a follower, but I'm not sure now.
If
His appearance wasn't as unusual as the other three, let's say.
What is characteristic of the fourth?
some different law documents, hang on.
We've ruled out a connection between the Wolf King and
Flower. Is that what you're thinking?
Oh, interesting.
well,
Yeah, sour.
Sour.
Yeah.
I thought you said Tsar, and I was like,
No,
no, he lives in the shed.
Come on.
That's also an interesting point, yeah. But do you remember the time?
Yeah, I know it.
The beast in the clearing, and there was like two, like, muscly corpses or something like
Yes.
something like that. Yeah,
Yes.
no skin on them, I think.
Haven't they been like sewn up, cut open and sewn up?
Yeah, yeah.
It was a wolf carcass that had been emptied,
Right.
and these two people who you put together, they were, because you found an upturned cart, like a merchant cart, and you got the gold from it, and then you encountered this encounter, and you thought that these two people were sewn into, from that merchant cart, were attacked,
Right.
and then sewn into the wolf.
I see.
And you cut them open, and when you did, you got like attacked by voices
It's
and,
like sound. Yeah.
and screaming, and they were actually shouting, "The Wolf King," blah 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 blah. They were saying stuff like that.
God,
Can't even
if
remember.
only I was better at notes.
So we've not killed the Wolf King.
I would assume it's some kind of ritual, perhaps.
Well, you say something like you've encountered a beast like this.
Well, a beast that appeared to have been sewn up with people inside.
Yes, you said, but this you've killed.
I may have burnt it. Or we fled. Did I flee? Or did I burn it?
Sour, I think.
Oh!
Yeah.
referring to.
Yes. I don't remember what happened to him.
I wasn't conscious.
Yes, and he was gone.
I may have disposed of him.
But what was this person?
It's a man who, when agitated, turned into a vicious wolf creature.
This was just south of here as well.
In the ABCD caves.
Ah,
Yes.
those caves.
Iconic.
There was a griffin as well.
Yes.
Is that relevant? Everything else seems to be.
Yeah, it's the fourth one.
It's like the end of a season of Doctor Who.
Oh, blessed of his. The followers of his used to have that power, what we warred with long ago.
Just supposing, and Joe's like up and picked up the staff. Just kind of like knocking cobwebs back. Just suppose you happen to eat one of them.
To eat the cursed flesh of that thing would, wait, what are you saying?
I'm just asking
What are
wild questions.
What are you saying, Drayle?
I'm saying what would happen, like when you ate that finger. Was that in this? Was that in the Halloween one? You did eat the finger, yeah?
Yeah, no, that was way before Halloween.
Your finger. A fish finger, right?
Right, we're not on me, we're on him right now.
Not a fish
Just-
finger then.
If you were to eat one of the... That's clean. One of the corpses of a wolfy boy.
When have you bitten?
I was... Scratch.
Were you the
Was I?
bitey?
You were bitten, Drew.
I was bit, yes.
You failed your con save.
I was bitten.
Oh no.
Show me. Show us now. And you see the archers who are like, they're all like kind of sort of very carefully listening to this whole conversation and suddenly like, kind of like, and kind of get back. Show us now.
Was I bitten?
Do I defend?
Doesn't know what to do.
You've been on the shoulder.
Yes.
Yeah, around the clavicle.
Somewhere in there. Sour taste?
Oh no.
Sorry, Jack.
Yeah, that's no show. Probably. Yeah, I believe you. You made this up.
Doctor Who.
You are Russell T. David. Yeah, and I will untie the cloak and let it fall to the ground, and then just pull down my shirt.
Turn around.
Doing that over there. I was like, what's she doing?
Just casting a smell.
Turn around.
Clap hands. You can see the scars are still there, like the big puncture wounds. She slaps you across the face.
You small lady.
Well, you were trying to turn him, then, weren't you?
Trying to piss me off.
That's
Do
not.
you feel
That's not
anything?
a good idea.
I feel a rush of blood rushing to my cheek.
Bernie, if I may,
Bernie, my cheeks are burning.
let's be more cautious. We've had run-ins with Sour.
Was me not being shot by the
Yes.
fucking... Was that not good enough?
He.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
Bernie.
Wait, just stressed
That's the hypothesis.
Are you really trying to get him to say it?
I just really want to keep saying Bernie. I just like it. Oh, Bernie.
Based off I'm sorry. I just had to make sure. You're strange. It's not taking any effect. Sorry, love.
Thank you.
Wait, do you think that could be passed on?
Cool.
From what we know, it's supposed to be a curse. You see, that god is a god of animals, at least in those old people's time. Hunting, nature. He controls all wolves.
We've dealt with enough curses. I'm glad that it's not been passed on.
It is strange why it hasn't been.
Good.
Where do you come from, Joe?
The West.
Far west. Excuse your knowing look.
Yeah.
Strange. I don't know why it hasn't affected you. The wound is healed.
Is it normally a guaranteed transfer?
We don't understand, but there are only accounts of tens and tens of them, and a curse spreading. Much death. You guys might remember.
I really wish I'd have cast polymorph on myself. Just for the shits and
The
giggles.
volley of arrows.
I'd have died, but it would have been
different multiverse. Guys, remember you were looking at ruins around Wetton.
Yeah.
And you saw skulls, like wolf skulls, merged with human skulls.
Yeah.
Amongst the dead.
Remember that? Yes.
Anyway, their faith is that when your body dies, it must travel towards the sun, to the face of the end of ever-changing one. But confirm something here.
Sorry, and this is followers of the Wolf King. So they're linked.
Of all the wild gods, they are a pantheon of sorts, a connecting body. We don't know the specifics, but if you are not good in their eyes, then the last one doesn't guide you to the sun, and instead you are eaten in night by the Wolf King and become a wolf to hunt your family in death.
fun.
We are most troubled by what you've just told us.
You still didn't tell us much of the fourth one.
Yes. This is where we find out we've had drinks with them at some point.
Yeah, what's surprised me?
Rodney, perhaps.
Quite a fair few interactions with death.
This is true.
Edmund. He did just disappear that one time.
Yes.
He did have a habit of basically dying as well.
He was quite a scarred fellow as well, if I remember.
Not many friends though.
No.
Maybe not.
Yes.
Maybe, but Deadwood. Sorry, go on.
Please.
Right, yeah. We haven't got much about this one. Only a hunched figure with a single candle. It says a semblance of hope, but also of what they thought was what was next after death. It can aid you and follow you to the ever-changing face, or it can snuff out the last minute. That is all we know here. All that has been passed down.
Anyone remember any hunched figures with candlelight?
Candles.
Plenty of hunched figures, but no
Who was
candle bearers.
We didn't happen to see who was leading the pack of elves and followed them one time. They were being led by someone with a candle.
Were they?
Was that
Procession of elves that we followed, the ghostly elves, were they being led by a candle-bearing hunched figure?
No. Not that you saw. You can see the start of it, to be fair. But
Speaking of which, you don't happen to know what that was all about, do you?
what was that?
Elves walking through the forest at night.
Yes, we didn't quite follow the path, despite the advice to do so. And we saw phantoms and devils.
Heading seemingly towards the lake.
Here. This place is full of great sorrow, and again, it is with embarrassment that we say we don't understand fully, but something happened here that cost the lives of many of the older folk to cause what is now the city today, and what is left of what it once was below.
Would I send you a quick message?
Sending you a message.
I will, yes.
I love it when that happens.
Do we think these are surely followers we've seen, right? The pregnant woman. And saying that it can't be a coincidence that she's pregnant. Who was it that saw her that night? It was you. That was you.
Yes.
And was there anything otherworldly about her? Just
Usual time of night. Seeing someone out in the woods. It was getting colder at that time of year, so it doesn't look like somebody, well, could be somebody imitating the look of the god that they were following, but I doubt it. But then again, other religions talk about their gods walking the earth as keeping an eye on things, you know. I really don't know.
But I have to wonder if we're here to stop the man we're chasing from unleashing these gods to replace Hala. And yet, seemingly, we've found evidence of at least one of them, if not three of them, roaming the earth, the planet, the realm. If so, what is it that he's gonna unleash? Are they're bound to this world? In mortal form?
These guys seem to be particularly scared of the last one. Perhaps it is just related him. And then
The other three are loose.
there are four.
Maybe.
All that we know is the Woman of the Woods was destroyed when Harlow returned or appeared, whatever her presence, however it began. The rest scattered or fled, we do not know.
And the letter mentioned something along the lines of tearing down the false god.
Right.
Her, mentioning her, assuming to be Hala. So they're looking to change management, kill or banish her and replace her with
So,
the Woman of the Woods.
you don't believe in Harla? You don't like Harla?
Believe Harlow is there,
But you don't believe in Fallen?
not at all.
But Harlow seems to be keeping these 4 at bay. So why do you hate Harlow?
Who said we hate Harlow?
Why? You impersonated a priest for one. It's not exactly.
To prevent the Republic's influence.
Okay.
You can tell from what I've said to you that we try to follow the tradition of old, of what this land was before she came in.
Is that of a particular faith, or is it just...
Of what we have read from the elves is of the land itself. So the balance of the ecosystems and everything has its place in the natural world. It's what we draw our power from.
Right.
But like I said, things are passed down from word of mouth from when the occurrence happened here. We do our best. Well, my heart is a lot heavier than it was this morning.
Yes, plenty to ponder on.
If you're looking for this man, will you tell us anything you find about their dealings? About what this is? Would you stop it?
Stop what?
What they're trying to do?
Of course. Why wouldn't we?
I think that was pretty much his plan the whole time.
It's sort of a prerequisite of stopping the man we're chasing.
Small cog in a larger machine.
We stop him, we stop whatever he's trying to achieve. It gets going.
Well,
We will tell you what we find on the condition that Grey and yourselves stop looking at Val as if he's some kind of beast, some kind of monster.
That's our job.
That is our job. He's as equal as anyone else in this room. And he's proven time and time again, not that he needs to, that he is a good man.
you feel the whole room's looking at you, Val. Apart from one figure who's still dressed in plain priest garb and has just been completely still the entire time on his chair.
Is that a statue?
Yeah.
Fucking knew it. What about the other guy? Where's little? Where's the other guy? Where's the little one?
I keep forgetting to. Sorry, that's in the law. I keep forgetting to shout out random shit.
Yeah.
Let me make up for it.
Hold on. Yeah. Sam will add it in the edit.
Wolfgang, the friend, the dead.
Oh God, the door.
Yeah. Okay, great. Got it.
Perfect. Yeah. Incredible.
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah. 13.
13.
Yeah.
She kind of comes up to you. Your friends. I see truth in your eyes. I do. You believe it. Whether you've persuaded us on his account is yet to be seen, young Danos. But your belief there's something to go on. Isn't it great? I cannot accept it.
Right, well then stay out of our way.
She looks at Bernie. Now. I get he's your friend. But it sounds like we both want the same thing here. You hear a like a loud. No, you don't. You hear some birds flutter, like. You look up, and then through one of these kind of cracks in the there's like concentric ringed arches that build up this chamber. You hear like a pat, and you see another like ranger kind of lean forward, and hear kind of like. And only Val would know. An attack. Ogres. East. Like 4 leagues out or something. And you see all the, not that you guys would know, but you see all the archers like quickly kind of, the guy finished tending to his wounds and sort of runs to the wall, and they kind of parkour, leap up the wall and go, and Grey starts to go as well. Not you, Grey. He kind of turns around. What do you mean they need me? Grey, please. There's something else we want for you. If they'll accept it. You can see she's really struggling with herself, but like really respects what the council say, and knows there's like no point arguing with it. A lot of her kind of rangers kind of stop, look, and then look to each other, and then quickly run out. We all want the same thing. Tell me, what do you intend to do now, Sik Bois?
Well, I was going to go back and drink and pass out and let my wounds heal.
Yeah, where have they gone?
Hunger attack.
Hunger attack.
Perfect. Good luck with that. Grey.
Grey's like, you can see one fist is white. It's, but her face is completely fine, looking at Bernie.
What's the question?
I think the last bit of what Drell said holds true for all of us. We want to go and rest. So, you ready for whatever it is that's come?
They can handle that, right?
We have been.
Good. That doesn't sound reassuring.
Would it help our case if we were to assist? Or would you prefer us get on with what we've come here for?
The latter, young Belatho. The attacks are something we are dealing with, but the most... Although loss of life is difficult to put last, the main thing that we got from any records that we have left is the protection of the city below. And whatever is in there potentially is much worse. So, we appreciate what you are offering. But we would prefer, and we ask, if you would investigate this on our behalf. And we say the reason we cannot is, as you can probably guess, any hint of our power, any hint of druids still being left in the city will turn the Republic's ire on us, and this careful balance which we have would be exposed.
Sounds good to me. We get what we want. You stay out of our way.
Who are you directing that to?
Shit. Well, I don't know, just like... I guess Bernie, yeah, I don't fucking know. I don't mean it in like an intimidating way or anything, I'm just like, you know... Everyone gets what they want, you know what I mean?
Like a kid is like,
Yeah.
Nah, it's cool. I mean, I'm not going to intimidate him. I
just wanted to sound bad.
You can stop the act, Danos.
Can we go?
Of course, you are free to leave.
Amazing.
We don't know where to go.
That way.
How do we get into the old city?
Ah. So that is what you intend to do now?
You were expecting us to...
I would like to go back and rest.
Likewise.
Oh, just like missing some holes in his back.
Yeah.
Ding.
And how would you get in there?
Wait, no. Another one.
That's what I was asking.
There's only one key known way, and that is only known to us.
And what is it?
You do want us to go there?
Yes, you just asked us to do this.
Yes, I'm just saying, it's not a quick trip.
They never are.
You must be prepared. Wholly. There is no guarantee once you enter you'll ever find your way out.
We usually head in and find another way out, and then we're like, oh, that was cool, and then we take the long trip home. We're pretty well versed at this.
Right. She doesn't look... what's the word? Instill with confidence in you from that speech. The magics have changed it. Whatever happened here has split it into different areas of sorts. It's extremely dangerous. How these outsiders are finding their way in, as we know they are, is beyond us. It is. Oh, what's that? It is.
Oh, shocking.
Oh yeah, caution going. Yeah, no problem. It's separated initially by what we call the fade.
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 I think I got that done to my hair once.
That's the party. Yeah, great.
Yeah, thank you.
Traversing that area is only death.
How deep down is the old city? How buried?
It doesn't really work like that. It's
Oh. Could it be on another plane?
yes and no.
Right.
Something fractured it, and it is split across an old. We've been trying to figure it out for centuries. It is sometimes here, sometimes elsewhere, and sometimes in planes it's made itself, and in somewhere else entirely.
So, can we access it at any time, or will we need to wait for an opening?
We have one clear way that we know of, but it is still dangerous. Listen, what might be better first is if you seek out these criminals, find out how they're getting in.
I was worried that might be what you were going to ask us to do.
It is not what I'm asking, is what I'm suggesting. They may have more leads with this man. If you go in there only looking for a man, it's...
Needle in a haystack.
I'm just saying, the chances are slim.
Right.
Trust me when we say it. And she looks down, looks a bit grey, and then also looks to the empty seat. You must be prepared as you can.
This could be a one-way trip.
It's like in the game bit where it's like, are you sure you wish to continue? You know, make sure you finish any side quests.
Yeah. Are you
Level
ready?
up your gear, grind some mobs.
Hurry up. Waiting for you.
So we're definitely not going now then.
No, not now.
Well, I suppose integrate with them, these criminals. We may even be able to get them to come with us. At least then we've got a bigger party, if it is as dangerous as you say.
No, our first port of call might be the building we burnt down. The building we saved.
Yes, we prevented from burning
We
down.
prevented
Yes,
burning
yes.
down
Just
Don't worry, we know what happened.
with when we saved the town.
Right. From the burning
Lots of
building.
wood.
It was no one's fault.
The dive hatchery.
Lots of wood. Just, that's it.
The old dye works, surely. Yeah. First lead.
We heard what you found. Yes, that would be a good place to start. But just a suggestion. That was my suggestion.
Sorry.
It's just when you said that,
I know, sorry.
it sounded like
You had a suggestion.
I'm so old.
Haven't heard anything from your friend for a while.
I think he's dead. No, that one's just straw.
Ah, right.
right. Is he supposed to be straw, or is that some kind of horrific accident?
Is that another man?
He's so old that
Another god.
Turn to fucking straw.
Turn to straw.
no, we had 5 originally, and we had 4, but no, he did pass away, and we couldn't figure out the logistics of getting another priest, so we just pretended he's alright.
Right.
You guys might want to rethink this whole thing. It's weird.
Sounds like you got that.
But it's worked.
Yes, it's worked for them.
Did for everyone else.
And us.
It did work for you.
Did it? We kind of just got pissed off.
Yes,
But it did work.
I mean,
I still think that they were.
it worked.
you also might want to speak to her because she just told us flat out.
Yeah, that's why she's here. To listen to this chat.
Ah, you're in trouble.
She will kill you.
Yeah, she tried.
Trail she basically did kill us.
I never died.
It's too
I never came close.
Where did you go, by the way? What was that all about?
Don't worry about it.
Where did you go?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Cold though.
Yeah, it's been covered in snow. Anyway.
It's water now.
You've only
Damn.
You're just dripping.
Moist boy.
I mean, while we're at it, we might come across the orphan child and we might find him. 3 birds and 1 stone. Yeah.
I don't like that expression.
Why
She
not?
liked the birds, remember?
Nature, perhaps.
That's not right.
Harmony.
I meant women.
1 stone. Oh, that's fine.
You're a weak.
That was the most Sam line it's ever said. That wasn't even roleplay.
Sorry, Bernie.
No. Seem like this kind of. You know, I'm glad you have come here, but you can be insufferable sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sickening.
Oh, is that finger crossbows?
He invented the finger crossbow. It's kind of.
No, I did that.
Yeah, stop that too.
Just need to sleep to it. You're like, wow. Incredible.
Just go to sleep under a tree. I'm untying his shoe.
Pretty good idea.
Pretty cool.
I'll sit on this for months. Right, well, if you've said everything, if you've given us suggestions, you've given us ideas, maybe we should. If that's everything you want to say, we'll get to it, I suppose.
You're trying to end the conversation.
I don't.
Yeah.
in a weird way. You could just say
Trying it
goodbye.
out.
Well,
It's alright, Daniel. Listen, last thing I would like to recommend. Clearly there is some problems between you and our esteemed leader.
I mean, less so than I have.
yeah, we didn't have an issue.
Yes, but I can see why, because you can't seem to stop poking her.
I've not poked her once.
I knew you had said that, and I tried really hard to think of something else to say, and I couldn't. My point exactly. If you do go to this diet house, I would ask if you would take her with you. And she's looking at you, Val.
And the guarantee that she wouldn't put an arrow in my back and claim it to be one of the people that we undoubtedly face there.
Again.
Or you.
Again.
Val hasn't shown any violence towards her.
Self-defense.
I just want to point out as well that when she shot me, I was running away.
It's pretty low.
Yes, the holes are
All in there. My behind.
She's not as
She
nice
holds
as
up
you.
her hand. We could sit and do this for ages,
Great.
but none of us have the time.
oh,
Right.
You and her got things to sort out.
if we have to sort anything out, we just have to get on with whatever it is we're doing and speak a word.
See it as you will, but you both have a duty to reset a balance.
Very well.
Actions are actions.
Let us put it into action now. Rest. And then meet, I don't know, here. It's close enough. In the morning.
If you do not want her, that is your choice, but it is what I would ask of you. But as you said, sleep, think. I do apologise for your injuries,
Right.
but some pain must be had before a solution, sometimes.
Sometimes. Hopefully not all the time. Right. Unless you have anything else, we should be going.
It was nice to meet you all properly.
Yes, it's been good finding out what the hell is going on.
Thank you for not killing us.
Yes. If there's anything you need, just come to us. Just don't tell the guards, though.
Yes, I can tell they're not in on the act.
Not very good at their job, are they?
That was we did that. I don't know.
No. They're terrible at their job.
Well, all right. If you feel that way. All right, Sik Bois. See ya.
Goodbye.
Bye!
There he is.
There he is.
My little scamp.
Nice. Break? Anybody?
Yes.
Yes, I think
I'm
so.
seriously considering getting McDonald's.
Yeah!
And welcome back. Just some announcements after the break. We got McDonald's. That's it.
This episode is brought to you by NordVPN.
Over to Sam with a sponsor second.
And Al told us about his racist dream. Why don't you go ahead and recount that again?
It's a basic thing.
Now this time.
The heavy doors where the sleeping guards are behind. You step through. It's sort of midday at this point. You're amongst all those like tiny pools and all the ruins around you of the centre, the top spire of the cradle. What would you like to do?
Is Bray with us?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to rendezvous tomorrow.
Run.
Um,
Yeah, let's go back to the bar.
yeah.
We still haven't had breakfast.
Oh god, it is early, isn't it? Oh. Well, let's go get a little brunch.
Boy, have we had a doozy of a day.
It's felt far longer than it actually has been. Yes. Oh,
God.
What's that voice?
Great.
Some zero sound. I don't know how it's playing something. It's crazy.
Oh, weird. Oh, strange.
Yeah, zero.
Whoa.
Anyway,
Baby's a vegan. Stop.
okay, so you return Case of Breeze Hall.
Yeah, we'll go back to it. Yeah.
Okay.
See if we can order, I guess,
Fine,
some
food
food.
now.
See how they get on with that. Yeah, just order some drinks and maybe like, if they're serving food, get some
Fine.
food.
Fine. Yeah, just say silver each for whatever you.
Are the guards still waiting there with our stuff?
Do they take your stuff? What do they do?
Oh, we returned
No,
to the
we
room,
really-
didn't we?
You
Yeah.
took it back and then you put it in your bag.
Yes.
From memory.
Ah.
So you still have it anyway.
Cool. Can I have my stuff back, please? Thank you. Cooking. Just a shield on my back.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Trying to be
Cooking.
Captain America.
I have a thing there.
Cool. But yeah, no problem. You're there with your whatever food you want, and there's some drinks. You pay for it?
I've paid.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Excuse me. Well, that was an interesting one. How are you feeling, Mal, after that?
After that savage ass kicking we had, yes.
I meant more about the teardown that Grey gave you.
The vicious personal attack.
I guess I'm meant to say thank you for standing up for me in there.
Of course.
Did we?
I did.
Oh.
You just stood back.
Well, he's a bit of a dick.
You're not wrong.
Can always rely on you. No, it's odd. I haven't encountered anything like that since arriving. It didn't happen when I arrived. I mean, I haven't ever encountered something
no.
like that.
You, did you mutilate one's face?
No, I still don't know what you meant by that. As far as I remember, I've looked like this.
Well,
My family, the other members of my race.
there's no ceremony or anything like that where you're from that maybe could. I'm not in any way suggesting that she's correct.
No,
I'm just
I-
curious why she'd think that.
Would they,
Curious.
you wipe your memory of your previous life when you become a...
No, it's fairly well accepted. Well, more or less everyone either becomes a watcher as part of our civilization and heads out to this plane to do their job, or they stay behind and help those that have gone in one way or another.
And that's
Keep the home fires burning.
that's the whole civilization, is it?
More or less, yes.
That's dedicated to this cause.
Yes. There are not a huge amount of us.
Right. Okay.
It wouldn't be akin to your people or jails on the same.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Numbers.
say like a carpenter, shop owner.
Yes, well, you have that sort of thing at home, but it all serves some sort of purpose in either keeping everyone at home safe or providing for those that are helping the watchers.
Right.
A farmer toils for the good of everyone else at home. We have our comforts and artisans who, the carpenter, like you say, who create toys and that sort of thing for the children. But we don't stray too far into lavish luxury. We don't have too much to make with in terms of materials. But yes, to answer your question, we pretty much all dedicate ourselves to this cause.
Whilst this conversation's going on, I'm inspecting the medallion.
Cool.
Sounds like Gray's probably just a horrible person.
Maybe, but I think if you'd had rarely seen people such as myself, and both of the two that you had seen had murdered and caused havoc in your town, I think you would probably feel the same. So I can't quite blame her. Trying to kill me, that's one thing.
What do you make of that? Two of what potentially your kind, assuming they're not mistaking you for something else.
Unless somebody was disguising themselves, trying to sow distrust, I'm not sure. But like I said, it's not part of our teachings to send here to protect the innocent, not to kill them. But not that I remember. I don't have any inside knowledge of people causing havoc, pallid elves, sort of thing, but it's something I can always ask when I'm back.
Excuse me, just to add to that, as I watch you, your oath is to definitely. I can't remember if it was actually to protect, but more like enforce the separation of all planes.
Yeah.
Perhaps when Val is talking about this, he's thinking about kind of how much he's been at liberty-ish to decide how to do that since being here, and how that's been part of his learning curve. And it's not a nice thought for Val, but perhaps it is a thought that these people, if they were Watchers, was this just their interpretation of that charge?
Wow. Oh, sorry.
Yes, all of that, but I suppose we are sent into the world here alone, without anyone to pull the leash if we stray too far from what is intended of us. So these two, whether they were going full rogue or not, I'm not sure, but it's clear they made some decisions to take liberties with the guidance that is given to us.
I wanted to ask about. I just want to look around, maybe try and be a little bit quieter. If what you say is true, keeping these two planes separate, the way she was talking, it's like beneath the city there is something that's very much entwined between the two of them, and if not more. How are you going to feel if we find that?
Well, the ability to separate them aside, whether that's even possible, it's at least something that I would have to report. Somebody more in the know or more powerful than me might be able to do something about it, but it's not something I can just let happen. Why would they want to keep the planes fused as they are in this corner of the world?
Could you perhaps run a bath and try and find out from the moon person whether or not they'd ordered someone to destroy this town because of that?
Maybe I could contact them, find out.
I don't think you necessarily need to have a bath, right?
No, it's but it's the closest thing on hand. I appreciate that.
We thought a lake, but
Oh, a bath sounds like a good idea.
private.
Yes.
We were all in the bath at the time.
Yes, we were, yes.
We looking at me like,
I don't know. I'm playing both angles. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm both very gay and very straight at the same time. We should definitely bathe together. No, we shouldn't. Yes, we should.
don't want to find Smeagol just go ahead.
Smeagay.
Smeagay confirmed. It's like the weirdest fan theory ever. There was 2 Smeagol's the whole time.
I think on the walk back, I probably would have explained where I was in the other thing, just to skip over that because you all know what happened last week, right? The plate when I disappeared.
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay, you've told us that on the way back.
Yeah.
And you were chilly.
Just to avoid having to go over all of that information again.
I would want to talk about that though.
Yeah. Like feel free to, but you know the basics.
Okay.
There was a fox there.
There was. Yes.
So clearly it's not just a wild fox.
No.
The same one you mentioned before.
Perhaps I am the only one who can see it. Considering any time I did, no one else did.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it. I'm not even sure I believed you.
But perhaps it's tied more closely to me than I had considered.
Well,
You are a man of ice, if I'm not mistaken.
I am indeed.
for it to follow you across plains is, I think you're right, it's tied to you somehow.
Is that anything you've ever heard of?
Interplanar fox companion. I don't think so. Something
You are the plane traveller of the group.
Yeah, make a history check.
You don't think that it could
What
be
kind of whichever you're proficient in.
connected to Sour's attack?
Possibly. You first saw it
Some sort of dog-esque creature.
Well, I'm not proficient.
tangentially related, I suppose.
19.
It's strange, so I guess because you don't understand explicitly, like Droll's casting banishment on himself, so you wouldn't know, like, I don't know if this is the right word, the phonetic. You wouldn't know like the details of that spell. But somewhere like frigidly cold, it could be like the far northern reaches of the world, or
Right, okay.
or it could be. I'm sure it's a magical thing, or we don't know. But there is obviously the possibility that it could be, the elemental plane of water, I think, or cold, or ice, or something like that.
Yeah, so I skipped inadvertently just because he hasn't told us that he cast banishment explicitly.
Right.
So, yeah, maybe going to that. So, what did you just thought is it your safe bubble? You just disappeared as soon as you took 3 or 4 arrows and you were gone. What happened?
I basically sent myself to the same place I sent the other orc down below, and I removed him and
The tree.
the tree.
Have you done that to yourself before?
No. It felt almost like a protection.
Did you know you'd come back?
No. But the arrows hurt a lot.
Right. Could have lost you forever, Joe.
But you didn't, so...
That's true.
Drow won.
We'll definitely keep an eye out for that fox again. If it is capable of moving between planes that might prove useful at some point, especially if you need to go home at some point.
Yes. Do you think that it was guiding you? Or was it just simply with you? So you learned to learn in this place?
Before I came back, it said, "Follow me."
In common, like it spoke to you?
No, in primordial.
With its mouth, or how Ginger speaks to you?
Closer to Ginger, but different, stronger, more consuming. But it was definitely it speaking.
Maybe you have some sort of guardian creature as well. I feel rather left out.
Well, you got Renya.
Ah, yes.
She spoke through the window.
Yeah.
With the hoovers on them.
Yeah.
Woodland creature.
She smashes the window.
Oh shit, she's running on.
That's like a ball in a armor shop.
Forgive my ignorance of your culture.
We always forgive your ignorance.
Yes. Fuck you. Can I do a religion check or something on the history of Western?
To me? Oh.
Before I ask Drill, I want to see what I know.
Okay.
Because fuck you. I want to see if I know of any kind of like ice/fox deity from the West.
Okay, let's make a religion check.
Religion.
Religion. 18.
That's good.
Not much is known about
My ignorance.
And my hubris.
No.
Yeah, not much is known about kind of what the far western tribes and societies of like orcs believe in. A lot of what is recorded is kind of like, with at least an 18, you understand that it's mostly kind of downplayed or kind of real as being kind of fickle and like basic and childish kind of and like
Presumably by Eastern influence.
yeah by every other writer, and a lot of like the public written stuff is written with like prejudice, kind of like, you know, they just see them as just angry beasts or like creatures, you know. But there is some text there is some texts that at least recognise some there are tribal society, and there are different tribes amongst them, and they war constantly, but nothing of some sort of cold deity to do with the fox at all.
Any like cold or not fox related stuff, and then also fox or not cold related stuff. Like not
Separating them, basically.
Yeah, not necessarily a cold fox deity. You know what I mean? Like, is there like a cold deity?
Yeah, fox by itself, nothing to do with the fox. Cold and such. You remember in Sipony that Ginger told you in your ear about the first Rage War, the one that happened before this one, I think was, I can't remember what it's called, when they attacked what is now Sipony, was once, I can't remember the name of the old city, what it used to be called before, but that giant tidal wave, people, you know, said that was, you know, it was nothing to do with orcs or whatever, but it was, you know, I remember telling you like some actual accurate recording was that orcs managed to do that And there was some sort of I think it's called animalistic, like it's like a spiritual belief system. With every orc has a kind of spirit, but nothing really connected to. You know that some worship a giant volcano and some sort of spirit attached to it, but nothing really with cold. Nothing particularly with cold.
Try to pardon my ignorance.
We always pardon it.
Could there be any connection to this vulpine creature to your culture, history, religion?
Not to the orcs. If we saw something like that, usually we'd kill it.
Right. What about spiritually? Could it be connected to you?
What did you say?
Spiritually, could it be connected to him? Because he said people have spirits or something.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I mean,
I listened.
it looks like it probably is, but
And
no idea why.
right. How does that make you feel?
Pretty standard. How does it make you feel? Pretty ignorant.
Yeah. I'm just, I'm curious. We could have another ally on our team. If you've got a cold fox.
Well, it did help with the
Trees?
was it the trees or was it the
Knackers.
knackers?
I think it was
Oh yeah, then just scare them off.
We have, they have red eyes, didn't they? Work.
Like bring it. Yeah!
Your lightsaber.
Maybe like a crossbow. Oh, because I thought I saw the curve. And I
No, it's supposed to be like flying through space.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it protected me from the knackers out in the wood.
But isn't anyone else you know who ever had like a guardian like that?
Not like that. The closest thing in your tribe, yeah, is the taming of that, and your, your, what I was going to say,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
No, we used to tame dinosaurs that we find in the mountains, but they didn't really have a connection to us, any different to a pet.
Should I
a
be?
horse?
Do I need to be like dinosaurs or like what's my?
I just thought that as well. Yeah.
I guess
Is this something that Eastern people would be remotely aware of?
like I guess it'd be more of a thing. Funny, we probably should have come up with a name for them. So
Yeah, it's not dinosaurs.
yeah, but also, if whatever the name would be, if I said, you'd be like, what? Like, what is that?
No, big creature is found.
Give him a name right now. Make the lore. Build the lore.
Oh, Megazord.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Knackers. No.
I don't know, Dacre?
Wait, what's from
Oh, fucking hell.
Dinosaur. Sinbad.
Somebody say that.
I'm so sorry. I just told Neil to come up with a name. I probably should have been like, go on, Dan.
You are
build your world.
You are forgiven, Sam.
Just the guy who doesn't have the keys to this just gave them to Neil. Was like, you do it.
Sona Diaz.
That's
what I'm going
Sounds
for.
really nice with guacamole and
that's on the
some
ears.
chips.
That's gonna be my
Sona
next.
Diaz.
It's gonna be my next character.
Sona Diaz.
Actually, Sona Diaz.
Sona Diaz.
I want the ear. Diaz sounds like something that you'd say,
Right.
as opposed to
I see. And
it's
so,
Spanish.
just rewind. What is a Sona Diaz? What is that?
They're big, thick, leather-skinned, horned creatures with sharp teeth.
Right.
Beastly.
Sound terrifying.
Yeah, they are. But if you can calm one, and tame it, and teach it your scent, and they're pretty reliable sources of A, travel, B, attack.
Right. Like a
But not defense.
No defense.
they're
No defense.
so they're kind of like horses, I suppose, in a way.
Imagine
Without the attacking part, I suppose. I didn't really think this through.
Leathery, horned.
imagine a
No, I mean, functionally.
Right.
Functionally.
imagine a horse
Like you would tame any beast, you mean?
Right, yes.
and a elephant
Right.
and
What's an elephant?
Poor horse.
Where I'm from, we've got.
and a dragon.
I think.
You know what elephants are.
Okay, cool. I know.
They're in the south.
Perfect. Do we have? Is it
What do I know elephants are?
in like Egypt? Right? They've got.
Yeah.
Is it caimans? They're called caimans, but they're just crocodiles. Is that right?
Caimans are like tiny crocs.
Oh, okay. Because I'm just basically trying to find an inn to be like this, and it's
Yeah, like a crocodile mixed with a rhino mixed with a horse-like dragon thing.
oh my god.
Yeah, pretty beastly.
Sounds almost ridiculous.
Probably a
Does that matter?
No, it's just the combination of
yeah. Oh, I see.
together. I can't see it.
tell Spielberg about it.
Horse height, pony.
Probably twice the size of a horse.
Oh,
The tameable ones are, and they only get bigger. Probably a decent time to tell you that I turned into one to fight off Sour.
is that why you were asking about
Eating him.
Oh my! Did you eat sour?
He was going to kill everyone.
But did you swallow him?
Are you gay or not? I got to know.
Ganos is the new theory.
Ganos confirmed. Yes.
And what happened to him when you turned back?
He shrunk with me.
You had a terrible night. Shit.
Did I?
Sure.
I seem to remember you were quite bloated, right? I think.
Yeah, I was just quite like. I was very well fed for a while.
I mean,
I didn't touch the rations for the entire journey back to Wetton.
Oh yes,
Because you didn't have any.
yes. We almost
I
died.
didn't need the rations for the entire journey.
I was on death's door, Drail, and you were feasting on one of our companions.
Well, I was digesting.
That's one way to stop it.
Yes, Bernie was very concerned. They were all concerned that you'd been bitten, and now we find out that you actually just consumed the entirety of.
Well, I was bitten as well as doing the biting.
Yes, digested all of this blood, which we could only assume was infected with werewolf.
Yes, let's hope that this isn't this infection.
No, the small lady slapped me and I think I'm okay.
Well, let's hope it's not sitting there and waiting to. Good night, Trail. Sleep tight.
For me?
Look at that, yeah.
Yes, let's hope it's not taking hold.
Hi guys.
The dog comes in, you're like,
Mounted.
oh my god.
Oh, I don't know what's happened in this corner, guys. I'm so sorry. The McDonald's has killed me. Killed my brain. Thank God we're not recording this, right? I'm saying so many questionable things. It's all recorded.
Right.
I suppose we should be thankful that nothing's happened, but you need to promise us that the moment you notice any change, if there's any change to you, you need to tell us, because you've fought off Sours twice. And we have not. I suppose you did change him back, but I haven't.
That's it, right. If we happen to encounter that when I'm spent, then we might be in trouble. So, he's right. You need to let us know if you notice anything different.
If so, just get us on the DOT, mate.
Well, but
Easy fix.
we'll just.
Where are we going to find it?
East, I've been
west.
West.
Yes.
Basically this.
We go far enough east, we'll get west.
Well, eventually. What? Unless it's flat.
Do we think the world is round?
It's oval, I don't know. You don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? No!
You know what? You would know it's round.
Cool.
Yeah, boy.
Drill.
Flat earther all the way!
Yeah.
Anyway. Have I, just on the subject, have I noticed any changes? No?
No.
Good.
She looked confused, Bernie, and surprised why you were okay.
Maybe you're immune. Maybe you've picked up something on the way that makes you. Who knows? But either way, first thing something changes, you let us know.
I will be sure to.
Unless anyone else has any more little.
Well, I was gonna say we should strategize.
Right.
We've got 3 tasks ongoing. Finding the man we're pursuing, finding the child that's gone missing,
Yes.
as well as integrating and befriending criminals to discover the location.
I don't think we're befriending in that.
But we want to get information out of them, right? Okay. But they almost killed us last time we approached them in an aggressive manner.
Yeah, that was my plan, but then we were told to bring Gray along.
Yes.
And that doesn't strike me as...
Rail doesn't seem great. Doesn't seem like the negotiating type.
No. I feel a bit weird if she's going to be around you.
Yes, me too. But perhaps we can send her in. She seems to be very good at sneaking around. Try and find a bit of information on something.
Yes.
Doing any fighting.
Yeah, maybe she can help us. Maybe she can locate another hideout with them and leave us to our devices.
Yeah, sometimes she won't leave us alone.
But it's like you said, Trail, like, what if mid-battle she just shoots a bolt into Val's back? How are we supposed to stop that?
She's so between it.
Well,
But I like you and all, but
it sounds painful.
yeah, it doesn't sound lovely to me.
Shot at enough. No, I wouldn't ask either of you to do that, but I just have to be wary, I think.
Right, if we can...
So,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just to say, if we can not keep her around for too long, then we'll probably be alright.
Yes, I think just for this operation, and then we go our own way. So, are we going to sneak around this place as a four? Are we going to send her in? Or are we going to simply knock on the front door and deal with them all?
The dye place, right?
Yes, the old dye. Dye works.
Can you just pose as one of them? We've seen
That's true.
a handful of them
Yes.
become one with some burn marks and
Could pretend to be on one of the expeditions. In that ledger they had what was it, tourists, they said, coming on one of the expeditions, but you could just say
That's right, yeah.
that you're part of them.
And they didn't want to do that again, I think, was the point of that.
So maybe you just say you're extra for one of them.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's worth a shot, I suppose.
Then we could break in and get you out of there if you get in trouble.
Yes.
you do
That way
realise
they'll
that-
lead you straight to where they go in.
You do realise that we were complaining about having to do this quest, which led to us getting shot at
Yeah.
and killed, and now we're doing this quest.
Yes, maybe we should have just done it in the first place. Someone really wanted us to do this.
I think the problem was that it was because they didn't trust us and we thought they were part of Hala and it was all about proving ourselves, but now we know that they are for real. We now know of the deception.
This is going to be a twofold benefit for us, and a safer and easier way of getting into the old city and building some level of trust with Grey, so she doesn't kill me in my sleep, and this plain council, so that they will believe us, listen to our pleas. We're not doing it for to clean up the city or anything. An added benefit we might get paid for.
Yes.
Yes. I think particularly if they have found anything from below, if they have a lot of gold that we can confiscate, if they have anything on them that we could use, we have to be prepared, they said, for this next bit of our journey. And going into the old city might be a one-way trip for a period of time, I'm sure. It's not as simple as going in and coming straight back out.
Yes.
Right then. Do you think that's what we should do? And having you disguise yourself and pose as one of them, and then we're on standby in case it goes wrong?
I guess so. I could disguise myself as one of the people we killed. But I can only assume they would know that they were dead.
That's why I'm saying if you
Possibly.
add some scorch marks and
Yes.
perhaps you just say you
Pretend you
snuck out and made it out alive.
Well, yes, I suppose there. But then there's a lot of knowledge they would have that you don't. Could strike up a conversation with your nemesis there. Cause a lot of suspicion.
My nemesis?
Theoretically, as that person,
I see.
right? Because you wouldn't know.
Yes. I was gonna say, I was going to say I could try crawling in as if I'd just survived, but I think I tried this before. When Edmund was here, we tried to raid that camp. I disguised myself as a soldier then, and they saw straight through what I was doing. But I suppose
That was a long time ago.
yes, I've got some practice in, I suppose.
Nice. And they do use disguises themselves.
You could try the old soldier returning alive gambit.
Is there anyone we saw both of? Guy we chased?
Door.
We saw both disguises.
Oh, I see. Yes, what did he disguise himself as? He had a long nose underneath, right?
Yes. That was his true form, I think.
Yes. What did his what was his disguise? What was he disguised as?
I don't know. I don't think that matters too much. As long as you're blending in with the local.
It was just a local.
Ah, right.
Just looked like you're wearing the similar clothes and.
Cool. I could try and be him, I suppose.
Yes. That would work.
At the moment they start asking me questions, I'm gonna be completely clueless.
Pretend to have hit your head, maybe.
It's part of the gambit, I suppose. Soldier returning alive. Grievous bodily harm and burns and brain damage. It's the way to do it.
I could do.
Roll for winner.
We could do get help. As well.
Yes. We should come up with something called get help. Well, I need to rest anyway.
Yes. Another option is sending Ginger in, I suppose.
That's very true. We know Ginger can go invisible now, so that's a thing I can do. That seems like a much smarter thing to do, actually. Yes. Let's do that.
Tiny invisible creature flying around seems much better a plan than sending in yourself. No,
Chewing the scenery.
Day.
As much as I would. I think we should do both.
Yes.
Yes. I could pretend to be blind. And deaf.
Yes.
I could watch myself through Ginger.
And stumble
around. Help me. I'm blind, burnt alive, and deaf.
I now have amnesia.
Where am I? I want to accompany you to the other side.
Where's your secret entrance?
I'll be really useful. Are you my nemesis?
Where's my nemesis?
Let me at him.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Need to make sure you're alive so I can kill you myself. Yes, rest. Rest. I also need rest. And should we happen to come into combat, I have an idea. This melting face business has been going on. I should be able to prepare something that would hold that going off. So we might be able to capture someone alive.
Really?
Maybe if we can... Say again.
How are you going to do that?
Well, it's something came to me several weeks ago now. I just haven't put it into practice.
Right.
Maybe I have. I can't quite remember. But either way,
Yes.
it should stop the magic as it's happening.
Good. Yeah, well, I mean, you used magic to free me from the curse I had from the ring, so
Yes.
clearly you've got means, I suppose.
Yes. So, even if our plans change, maybe we can just capture one of them and have him interrogated by the council, perhaps.
Yeah. They're quite powerful, they seem.
At least the facade is.
Oh, that's very true. They don't know, presumably, do they? Oh.
Yes.
We have a unique perspective in this town now.
We do. We do. Let's not squander it.
What are we going to do for rest then? Because it is still only the morning, and we've already half bled to death.
It's like midday.
It's midday. Do we sleep till the
Depends what our plan is. We're sneaking the whole way, not making ourselves known at all. I say we go at night, as we finish resting. Not morning tomorrow.
So if we could sleep now, try and get as much rest as we can,
Yes.
and leave at night.
Yes. When it's dark. I think we decide on which plan we're going for. So we have Ginger scouting, and then you going in. Right. We have sneak around, maybe send Gray in to find some documents or information, or we capture somebody. Stop this spell going off that seems to melt them, and then have them interrogated.
I suppose the only trouble is we said we'd meet her in the morning. We're going to have to try and find her if we're going to do it this evening.
Yes, we said we'd meet at the council building, so maybe we could ask them to summon her.
Yes, that's a good shout. Should we do that before we rest? And say that we intend to meet this
Yes.
noon.
Well, it depends on the plan. What do you think, Trail?
Let's go do some recon tonight and then send Ginger in tomorrow maybe.
Well,
If it all goes tits up.
I think it's the aspect of sending in day or not. Do we bother with that? Or do we just sneak about? If we're sneaking, we'll do it tonight. I think either way we should do it tonight. Even if we're sneaking.
Yes.
Let's just... Yes.
The quicker we can. We've already messed around a bit too much.
That's the Ginger in. He's invisible, right?
Yes, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Just get him to come in and listen.
We got unlucky with the Neckers that they could seemingly see through his invisibility, but one would hope that these people wouldn't be as astute.
They do have magic users among them, so who knows? They might have advanced traps and things around.
Well, if that's the case, then your disguise probably wouldn't fool them either, so
Yeah.
better to send in Ginger, and we know we can get back. Than sending in Day alone.
Yes, I will go and mention to the council that we need Gray tonight.
You're going alone? It sounded like you wanted to go alone, but I don't think you should when Gray is out there somewhere.
Yes. Yes, you got my last legs. Yes, one of you.
Yes, I'll come.
Right.
That's not to say you can't come.
Nah, that's fine.
Yeah, I think we just quickly ask them, just say that we asked them to summon her to meet us there. What do you want us to roleplay?
So you're going to go up to the...
Back to where we just were.
Back to where we just were.
Say, change the plan. Not in the morning. Do it tonight.
Yes.
Meet us
tonight.
Meet back on the menu board.
You're walking. You're getting to that point. You sort of cresting that top and into that sort of like little low valley, like very high up in the cliff sides of this, in the shadows of the tiers. You hear like a thud and like a scatter of some pebbles behind you. And as you look, there is Gray, sort of just nonchalantly, just picking kind of something out of her fingernail,
This evening, Gray? May be available midnight.
So do you want me to come then?
Yes, we spoke about it and thought that you could lend your talents to helping us.
Where?
We'll meet here. And then we intend to go to
The old dye works. You know where that is?
Staying at the hall?
Yes, Sik Bois.
Okay. When you come out later, I'll be there.
Right.
We'll see you there then.
Keeping an eye on her as I...
Maybe don't kill us in our sleep.
It's the equivalent of when you turn the light off downstairs.
Yeah.
See you later.
Okay, I'm okay.
You're a bit bad.
Yeah. As you turn away,
Crossbow lightened up.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my shield on my back.
I'm back. Okay, we're not in front. Interesting.
I turn around the check.
Fuck. He's got mine on his front. And
You're like, I'm the one she hates. I'm alright, Val. It's okay.
my vest. My arrow-proof vest.
It's getting a bit late. Maybe talk next game or something.
What was that, Greg?
Next what?
Yeah. You just if you just turn over your shoulder, she's gone.
Definitely come in handy.
Do you reckon she turns invisible, or is she just very nimble?
I'll just listen out for like the slightest hint of like a footstep somewhere on a rooftop or just around a corner.
Make a perception check.
Oh, I'm not nimble.
There she is. 20.
Nothing.
Maybe she teleports.
Maybe, but it's usually flashier. Well, yours at least.
Yes, mine's always involved smoke and sound back in the day. Yes.
Right. Let's get back and rest. Thank you again for standing up for me. That's not something I've experienced before.
No, it's
uncomfortable.
Yes. Yeah, no one deserves to be treated like that, especially someone I know is as righteous as you are. It just felt very wrong. There was so much spite in her tone. I've never experienced anything like that before, ever. I just thought it was completely out of line. So,
Felt like she was... she got the wrong person when she was speaking. One of those things she was saying does leave a lot of questions in my mind. The mutilation. Yes.
do you believe her?
Well, I know how it is at home, but could it have happened years ago now? Decades, centuries, I'm not sure. We are very different to other elves, after all.
Yes. The specific differences being like the eyes and the skin and stuff, is it?
Yes, yeah, eye, skin, kind
Silver
of hair,
hair.
like sort of platinum silver.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yes, I suppose you are. I just assumed it was because you were from somewhere else, like you said when we first met.
Yeah, somewhere cold, maybe, but no, it's well, were others in the Fae that didn't look like us, so.
Were?
Yes, there are a great many things that, in time, I'm sure we will discuss about what happened at home. And the council spoke of the planes butting into each other, overlapping. But we still don't know ourselves what happened, but it was split, sundered many years ago now. And it's now a fragmented group of islands, if you will, but not earth and sea type islands, more spaces in a fog, a mist.
Wow.
Yes, so there were others, and we have since lost contact with them. Like I say, many hundreds of years ago now.
Wow. So what they said does ring true to a degree.
What about?
Just that what they were saying about the old cities in and out of different places.
Yes.
Yeah.
This could be a particularly volatile area in the Fae, overlapping with it. Could be another plane that it's overlapping with, I'm not sure.
What would be so special about this place?
I have no idea, but our answer will lie in the old city, I'm sure.
Just wondering if you were supposed to return at some point, right?
Yes. There's no deadline per se, but
Why did they want you back?
they didn't say. But all watchers return for mission report at some point.
And then you come.
Resupply and
Right.
Yes. that
So-
sort of thing.
We could potentially kill 4 birds with one stone, depending on how this old city turns out.
Yes.
Assuming we can figure out how to get through the chaos they described of multiple planes. We could end up anywhere.
It's in something called the Fade as well.
I'll say this, Val. When we get there, I know I alluded to this earlier, that, what you may find down there is something that those other 2 of your kind were appalled by and tried to put right. I'd ask that maybe, until we can complete our other missions, if you do feel that way, the way that they did, try and hold off as long as you can, that we may get everything else done.
Yes. I hope that I will not feel the need to follow the same path as the others in killing people.
I don't think you'd ever take it that far,
No.
but I just wanted to be sure.
It has been known for people to do terrible things in siphoning power from other planes and all of this sort of thing, opening rifts, drawing things through, but I can't imagine that's what's going on down here. But we'll see. Yes. I will do as you ask.
Either way, it'd be a curiosity, I suppose.
Yes. I've seen some old architecture and
Yes. Good tale for a tavern.
indeed. Speaking of, I should probably
Oh my god!
I'm a wolf!
All the windows in us.
Just we've got the now.
The one window's left.
The guy's like protecting it. He's just finished it. Like, please.
Holding a window pane.
Okay, cool. So with that, Joe, did you do anything of interest? Do you want to do anything?
I think I would have. I want to look at this medallion.
Sure. Make investigation.
That shit.
Investigate. It's not good.
really bad.
Super bad.
It's an M.
Okay, 10. It's not right.
You feel weird knowing that what you've learned recently today, like having this thing for so long, even wearing it for a while. And it's weird how you remember you found it like just in the bed of like in a gang member, I think, of the bull or raisers or whatever. How much can these gods and their cults influence things going on? What other organizations, where are they right now? They've obviously gone hidden for a while. About the thing, the amulet, it's just basic. It would be wood, and it's just carved from simple tools, very simple and rustic, and nothing magical about it, you sense. But looking at it, it's definitely a face split 4 ways, with different design on each quarter. You look at it now, you kind of think, okay, maybe those little lines are meant to be wind. Maybe that's meant to be snow. Maybe that's rain. It kind of makes sense.
So it's one face split into 4.
Yeah, with just a circle, and it's just like a warm smile, 2 eyes, and then it's just split literally, and then each quarter is like speckled with different design, tiny little dots, scratches.
That's all I'll do with it.
So then, once you unite, do you guys go to bed?
Yeah, I guess attempt to get a long rest, until midnight.
So yeah, you all return to your room. I think you paid for. This is the last night you were paying?
We paid for 3, so yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, cool.
But this isn't technically the night, right? We're just sleeping through the day.
That's true actually. So you
I feel like we'll be here for a little bit longer, so I'll give him 2 more days worth.
Okay.
With
I'll let you know how much it is after. Whatever. You go back to your shared room, and although it is daytime, it's like cloudy and not super bright. You shut the curtains as best you can, or shutters or whatever. You can see the tiny glows from a little bit of the torch bugs in the like little lanterns in the moss. What? Don't say anything.
Okay. No, I just wanted to.
Sorry, I don't know what you're going to say.
It felt like you were wrapping it up, but just like for flavour.
Okay,
if the light is too bright coming through the curtains, I'm going to use my other spell slot to cast hallucinatory terrain and just plunge us into like nighttime a version of the room, basically.
Okay, sure, yeah, fine. So, I thought you were going to say something else. Sorry.
No, I wasn't going to like joke or anything. I just wanted to.
No,
because I'll get it all back. So I was just thinking, fuck it, might as well use it.
Fine. So
I'm a dinosaur whilst I sleep.
Cool. Yeah. Sorry. No, I thought you were going to say something. But anyway, but with this terrain, you do find that that sleep does come to you, and it's peaceful and fine in your aches and pains. After you spend a while bandaging each other's wounds, and Val sorts you out, I imagine, take most of the edge off. However, as you're all there sleeping, your meeting with the Plain Council hasn't gone completely unnoticed by some people, or something, I should say. And something watches you as you sleep. and has a good idea, and that's where we'll pick up on Monday.
What? What? On Monday next year?
This
No, Monday.
Oh. Tune in. I just checked. I didn't have any spell slots anyway, so we struggled in the light.
Okay.
Actually, after the first hour, I then used it.
yeah. Okay.
Guys, just wait 1 hour. All right, here we go. And then
Gone unnoticed.
do we get full rest?
We'll see.
Shit.
Oh, I've done one.
Ah, you fool!
I always do because
It's
I don't know.
you all will. This is just a way of me leading
Yeah.
conveniently and canonically into the power
Okay.
now.
Oh yeah, because like
But we'll
your initial
be-
plan was how's that
We'll
gonna
be
work out?
full.
You'll be all
health
good.
for that.
All good. Yeah.
At
So-
the very least.
yeah. So long rest, and you will get this long rest.
Okay.
To-
Oh,
to-
okay.
to-
So just do it now.
yeah, do it now. You need it when you're on Monday.
Yeah, boy.
So
Monday.
yeah. So that yeah. I thought you were gonna say, oh, you know, are you gonna lead into?
No.
I was like, no,
Don't say anything.
There's something I'm gonna.
Don't say anything.
Okay.
Super Monday Night Combat.
But yeah, so that works out. You just go to sleep. Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
There we go. Tonight,
it's
wake
like-
up.
These beings must be powerful. They spoke with the High Council. Let's test them. Blah, blah, blah.
Nice.
Cool.
Sick.
Nice.
Nice.
Game. Yes. A lot of RP in that one. Where it's all RP.
There's a lot of P and got an
P
EP right now.
It's good, Barney.
I need to be like